Okay, so I'm on the plot and I've got a big funeral to pick for today. So I've got my buckets and I also want to just check that my seedlings haven't been eaten by the bloody slugs. But let's just go in under the arch. It's all a bit of a mess actually. I need to bring the strimmer down really badly to trim the path because I'm getting wet feet now. And we'll have a look around in a minute, but first things first, let's get these flowers cut because I think it's going to rain again. Annoyingly, it is June, and it's raining. Hello, Emma Jones Garden. I'm Emma. These are my gardens, allotments, and I grow cut flowers here in Cornwall in the UK. And yeah, as I said, today we are picking for a funeral. Funerals are, I treat them much like weddings, to be honest. They need the same care and attention that a wedding does. I don't think you should be using the blooms that are nearly over, because the way I make my funeral displays means that people can then take them away after the funeral and reuse them as flowers at home or at the wake. So I feel that they need to be at their best. Saying goodbye to somebody is just as important as getting married, in my book. Anyway, so let's go and see what we've got. I'm actually really surprised at some of the stuff I've got here and how some of the stuff that I've resown has really done well. If anyone saw my post from before, thank you so much to everyone, by the way, who commented on that post, who sent me coffees, and it was lovely. I felt really loved, and like, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm not in this, you know, I'm not the only one in that boat where you've basically lost everything this year. We're in this together. We're in this together. We will get through this blooming year. It's been awful. I'm just hoping that some nice weather might be on the horizon. Not today, by the way. Although, look, behind me, blue sky. Maybe. Right, let's go and pick first before it does rain, because I don't want these to get any wetter than already. I've already put it off. It is nearly 11 o'clock. Should have done this first thing this morning, but every time I looked out, it started raining. But I don't want these flowers to be too wet. So let's go up to the top because there's not a lot to pick down here. We'll go up to the top block. So this is looking lovely. My rose garden this year has proper come into its own. I'm so glad I put the effort in. All that compost. So for anyone that maybe hasn't followed me through my whole journey, earlier in the year, I think it was like January or February, I decided to have a like massive big bag of compost delivered. But because I'm on allotments, it had to be delivered all the way down there by, see that polytunnel? All the way down there. And then I had to handball it all the way up here. And I did it on probably the wettest day of the year. Actually, maybe not now. But anyway, at the time it had been. And I was literally soaked through to my pants. And I managed to get all the compost and I mulched all of these beds. And I'm really glad now because they are looking amazing. So pretty. I'm hoping I've got enough to be able to pick. So I really love this. It's absolutely beautiful. But look how evil it is. The thorns on it. I can't, if I can get it to focus on the thorns rather than the leaves. Can you see them? Oh my, look at them. They're evil. And it's not, because of the way they are, it's really difficult to use in displays. But for funerals, there's no thorns further down. So actually, just got taken out by this. This used to cover my whole allotment and got taken down in the real bad storms we had in the winter. And I've decided not to bother putting it back up. But I need to take this bit down. But yeah, so this rose, because it's got clean stems and I need it for a long coffin spray, I can actually use it, even though it's a little evil at the top, because where I'm going to be holding and where it's going to be bound is going to be on the smooth stem. So this is good for the work that I'm doing today. Other than that, it doesn't tend to get picked because it's just a little too evil to go in someone's vase. And this one over here, this is my favourite. The reason it's called my favourite is, but I was given it by another flower farmer that was given up, and it's called Lady Emma. So obviously it's my favourite rose. She is absolutely stunning. It is a David Austin. I don't know if it's still in circulation. I don't know if you can still get it, but it comes out like this real peachy colour, and then it goes this real like pink, pretty colour like this. So gorgeous. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. But it's succumbed a little bit to some black spot, which is annoying me because this one here hasn't got any, and yet this one, and every year this seems to get the black spot, which is really annoying. But the winner of the flower display this year is these pink guys, and this is actually called Timeless Red. It doesn't look very red to me, it's a very dark pink. The only problem with the Timeless is they get this like scald on them if you don't pick them, so they go like this. It's weird, but it's like a browny colour. It's not very attractive. You can see that one's just going, so you need to pick them. Like this is a little bit too open, maybe. See, that one's just going. But these are going to be fine, actually. I'm not going to use all of them, and I will take any that are like this off, and I'll just use the buds. So this is perfect. This is how you would pick it. Perfect is this one here. This is the perfect time to be picking the roses, when they're like this. So you've got some coming, some out, and they're not too open, so they'll last in a vase. But this one's lovely. Do love this, but again, I've cut most of this back because I've used a lot of it. But I really love this one. So pretty. Let's come round here. And this is probably one of my all-time favourites as well. And this is called Roald Dahl. But it's pretty much gone over now because I've used so much of it. I had a funeral last week and a wedding, and I've used all of it. I've only got 2, so I need to order some more, I think. I tried taking cuttings. I'm not very good with taking cuttings. Don't know why. But yeah, it's beautiful, look. So pretty. Okay, let's get cutting. That's the roses all picked. They are lovely. They are like just probably my favourite. They'd be amazing as a garden rose. Some of these are going in a wreath anyway, so it doesn't really matter about the spikes. Some will go into the big display. But yeah, so I've just gone for the 2 colours for the minute, because I've got a lot of other colours of things. But should we just have a quick look at the dahlias? Obviously not as far on as I'd like them to be, but then they were all in the ground. None of these are from cuttings or anything. So this one I was worried I'd lost, but I can just see it's coming. And as you can see, I have had to resort to slug pellets. And I really try not to use any type of chemical on my flowers, but I was just losing too much. And you know, this is my business, and I needed to not lose these dahlias really badly. If I'd lost these, that would be it, you know. I'd be looking for a job. So yeah, I have done, but they are organic certified, so they're organic slug pellets, and I've done a bit of a dig dive into the slug pellet world to find out what it is. The slug pellets I use, what they do is the slugs ingest them, and then it kind of gives them like tummy ache, and they're like, oh, I'm going to go back into my hole, and they die in the hole, which means that they're not all strewn across the soil like the good old days. Remember when they used to leave slug trails everywhere, and then you'd see a slug right at the end? Yeah, we're not doing those ones. And in fact, they've been banned, so you can't get those anymore anyway. And in fact, looking into it, I don't think you can get anything but the organic ones these days. I know there's lots of other ways of deterring slugs. I just was in a bit of a panic after coming back from holiday and finding everything gone, that I just went to the shop and I just picked them up, and they were organic, and I thought, well, that'll do, you know. I try and be as organic as I can here, and so that's what I've done. You know, I try not to use them, like I say, but times I've tried eggshells, I've tried coffee, I've been told oats. I haven't tried the oats. I just don't know how that works. Apparently maybe they eat them and then they swell up a bit like the slug pellet, and then they die. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. But let's look at the dahlias, because they have been amazing. So there is some missing. So along here I had my snowflakes, which is a little tiny white ball, and I did bury them really deep last year because I wanted them to go through the winter, and I think maybe I buried them too deep because they struggled last year and they haven't come back this year. So maybe don't plant them too deep. I thought I was missing a red one up here, but I can see he's just started, so that's good. All of these have made it. In fact, I do need to move some of these weeds, but yes, even this one's making it. Need to move some weeds. So I'm pretty sure there was one here that seems to have disappeared as well, but I'm not so worried because I know I've got one there, and actually that's quite nice spacing because that was one I stuck in at the end of last year that I was given. I had nowhere to put it, so I put it there. Possibly missing one from here as well. Need to get rid of the ragwort. That is definitely a no. All of these, there was never one there. Actually, I think there was. No, I think that was because my pathway went through there, so I don't think there was one there. Obviously, they've all come. They've all come. I'm missing this guy. Hasn't come back. Western Pearl, which is a shame because she was so pretty. Never mind. Actually, a bit gutted about that because she was very pretty. And this one, Hermione Rose, was one of my favourites last year as well, and she's just, you can see she's rotted. So those two haven't come, which I'm really gutted about. I'm going to take those labels though, so I'll make sure I reorder for next year. I use a company called Halls of Hedon. That's the only place generally I get my dahlias from, although I've just been sent a load of dahlia tubers from Fieldgate Flowers, and I need to get them in the ground really badly because they've all got little eyes on them, but I don't know where I'm going to put them because she sent me an extra 5, so I've got 15 tubers there, plus I've got over there 10. I've got to find 25, got to find room for 25 more dahlias. I think I'm going to be doing some digging next week somehow. There is room here, I've got plenty of room, it just means I'm going to have to dig before I can get them in. Some of these though over here, they're already sprouting, so they need to go in the ground. But yeah, look, so all these gaps is good because that means I can put dahlias where these gaps are. So actually I'm not that worried that I've got gaps up here. So I thought I'd lost this guy, but it's just poking her through, and that one that's looking a bit yellow. I think they need some feed, so I'll be feeding them on Monday, which is tomorrow, because I've got this funeral to get ready today. And I'm missing one here, but actually I thought I was missing this one, but this guy's just started sprouting, look. And that one. So I thought I'd lost the two at the end here, but I haven't. And then these were all the ones I put in the other day. That isn't a dahlia. That's a potato. Oh, there is, the dahlia is here though, look. But that's a potato. The thing is, I haven't grown any potatoes. And there hasn't been potatoes in this ground for 2 years. But obviously, this one wants to grow. And that's what a potato is. Weird. Yeah, so that little guy there has come in as well. So yeah, these were all dahlias I put in just before I went on holiday. So they're all looking good. I'm going to pick some Sweet William. I'm going to go and look in the polytunnel. So in fact, let's go in the polytunnel and see what we've got in there that we can pick. Okay, so let's go up to the polytunnel. We'll definitely be having some of these Sweet William. In fact, this is a great time of year to be planting these. So I'm just about to order my seeds. I get my seed for my biennials from Higwoody Garden. I've tried other places, but I had them from Higwoody Garden last year and the year before, so this will be the second year that I've had them flowering. And the Sweet William for definite are amazing. The auricular type ones are so lovely. And if you order his bundle, not sponsored by him by the way, but if you order his bundle, I think you get cheaper at the moment. I think there's a discount on it, so I think it's like 17 quid or something. And there's some seeds I don't use, which is the wallflowers and things like that. But what I'm thinking is, the last couple of years I've just given the seeds away to other people, but I might sow them this year. I may put them in a polytunnel and see how they go. I'm not sure they're great for cut flowers, but might try them. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to order those. So really biennials need to be going in sort of, well, before the end of July. And I'm normally really rubbish about getting them in before the end of July. These went in, I think, I did have a label here the other day, but I think these were August-ish time I put these in last year, so they would have been a lot better had I put them in earlier. So the earlier you can put your biennials out in, sow them, the better. So I'm definitely want to be ahead of the game this year because of all the disaster I've had this year with things. I want to make sure that I definitely have biennials and perennials getting me through this part of it. Just in case I don't have any annuals again next year. But I can't see this happening again next year, although you never know. But let's hope not. Right, let's go in this polytunnel. So let's go underneath here. This is my little system to catch water, but for some reason it's not doing a good job. I think I've got a hole in my water butt because the ones that I've got over by the roses are full. This one just seems to be constantly empty. And I know the tap's not on. Oh, no. It's not even, I don't know what's going on with this water butt at all. Anyway, welcome to the jungle. Seriously, don't know what's going on here. I'm going to cut a load of these now anyway, so these are coming with me. So I'm just going to step over them for a minute. Proper as a jungle. And welcome to the polytunnel. Looking good. The last 3 stocks. I might actually pick them. I was going to let them go to seed and save the seed, but I might have them for this funeral. I have got some stocks I've bought in. BJ Richards, because I was a little bit concerned I wasn't going to have enough flowers. So I've had a funeral, wedding, funeral, all back to back, and so I've basically picked everything I've got. Everything. So I was getting a bit worried I wasn't going to have enough, so I did order some stocks because I just wanted some fragrance for this funeral. So I have got some of those, but actually I might pick those last 3 because they're a really nice peachy colour. They're my favourite. And do you know what? Those seed I got, they were Thompson and Morgan seed stock, apricot stock seed, and I bought them because my friend, my allotment friend over there, she told me hers had come up really nicely, so I was like, oh okay, I'll try them, because I'd had them from Chilton's and most of them had come up singles and hers hadn't, and I was like, that's strange. So anyway, so I ordered them from Thompson and most of them came up as doubles. I did get the odd single, you're gonna, but yeah, I'm definitely going to get them from them again because they were, although you pay a little bit extra, they were good. But make sure you get them. I mean, I got them from Garden Centre, but as soon as the fresh stock came out, the fresh stock in the shop came, I got them there. You don't want them when they've been sat around for a year. Just make sure you've got fresh stock, so always take your seed packet from the back as well. Top tip. Right, let's have a look what we can pick other than that in here. A huge amount, to be honest. I took most of the snapdragons out the other day, but there's a few little ones there which we could take. I've got some Ami, obviously the stock. Oh, look at my zinnias. These need to go out here. So this is my job for Monday, or Tuesday possibly, is to just take out where the ranuncula's are. I'm not even taking the ranuncula's out. I'm just going to leave them in there and let them do their thing for next year. But yeah, those zinnias need to go there. The Oilea is pretty much done, so that needs coming out. The Ami is, for some reason, has decided to climb up the thing and go underneath, so it's all flat. But that's great for a funeral because I need a flat back bouquet, so actually that's going to look pretty good. I used some of it the other day and it looked awesome. All my grasses need to go out, and finally I've re-sown my sunflowers because the slugs ate most of them, and then for some reason I had a packet of seeds that didn't come, so I went to the garden centre, got my seed from the back obviously, and ordered some more. So I've got this buttercream, which I've done before, is really lovely. I have done this one before, and this is beautiful, and I think I have done this once before and I could never find it because I never remembered what it was called, but yeah, this gorgeous pink colour. They're not coming up yet, but I planted them on the same day, so hopefully they will. But these ones are literally just poking their little heads out. It's really warm in here. I wasn't expecting it to be so warm. I've got my coat on in June, obviously. It's warm in the polytunnel. So I've done the polytunnel picking. I've got a nice bucket there. I've got some Ami here. Oh, you can't see it, I'll turn it around. That I'm going to pick as well. and then I'll just show you quickly around this garden. So I'm just going to pick some more of this Ame. So it's good to pick it when you've got one that's fully out, and then this, it will condition it better, but they do sometimes wilt, but give it a good 24 hours and they're normally fine. I take it these are going to be gladiola. I found a load of bulbs dumped on the side of the this is what I do, dumped on the side of the road, you know, like you do, when I was walking the dog. So I put them all in a bin bag and I brought them here, I planted them, but they're obviously gladiolas. I wonder what colour they'll be. I'm not sure, because I'm not keen on them, to be honest, but we'll see. We come around, there's the flowers I picked from the Polly. So this end, finally the Phacelia is starting to grow. It took a while, but it's coming. The snapdragons are looking awesome. I have pinched some back, some I didn't, so I'm gonna have a bit of a succession going on there. The larkspur looking awesome. Again, forgot to pinch that, so there we go. But that's looking good. We've got some, I think this is amaranth. I actually cannot remember what it is. Don't remember. I'm just not sure. Anyway, this is a Clarkia, something I've not grown before. It's got little pretty pink flowers, and actually that's looking amazing. I'm just waiting for that to flower because that's looking really good. Then we've got the Limonium, which is just starting to flower. Look, focus. Yeah, there we go. It's just starting to flower. So got loads of that growing along here. I did have some Chinese forget-me-nots at the end here, which are tiny. Look how small they are. Anyway, and then because they weren't growing, I stuck in the toadflax, just a couple of toadflax at the end here. And then if without standing on the things, we come over here. But sweet peas are starting, but a lot of them got eaten. So I've put some extra seed in. What? There is a dahlia growing inside the sweet peas. I don't even know what that is. In fact, there's two dahlias growing over there. I don't know what they are either. Strange. This is what happens when you redesign your garden. Actually, these ones are looking right. This really lovely zingy is oregano. Brilliant cut flower, but I thought I dug it all up. Clearly didn't. And this was the disaster bed. But actually, a lot of it's weed, but you can see there is a Rudbeckia. Here is a Rudbeckia. And then none. And then there's a little line here of Rudbeckia, look. And then a little clump of Rudbeckia there. That one looks like someone's tried to pull it out. And then obviously another massive gap. And then I thought this was the amaranth. I don't know what this is, amaranth possibly. I've got a couple of Bells of Ireland that I've stuck in here because this old bed was empty, so I've stuck the Bells of Ireland in there. And then I managed to, thank God for Facebook Marketplace, I got some Dutch asters. So they're apricot aster, which I've plonked in the front there, and they're looking really good. I just looked on Facebook Marketplace and I found some plants, so I've actually bought a few bits and pieces. Some I didn't really need, but they were like 50p, so I bought them. Not good for cut flowers, but good for the bees. So yeah, I just went and bought some plants. They were £1 each, and I've tried growing those asters before, and they're a pain in the ass to grow. So actually, for £1 each, I'm not even fussed. I bought 10, and it filled my gap, and they're brilliant cut flower, so ideal. Win-win on that one. This bed here, which looks a mess, but it is just a bed covered in, so as soon as I take that off I can just dig it. I'm going to put dahlias, possibly spare dahlias, in that one for this year. And then the bed and the next one down, which is that one there, is a bit of a disaster, but it's got some annuals in it, some perennials in it, so I'm just leaving it for this year. And then if we come round, this side's looking pretty good. So obviously we've got the Ame. This got attacked by the slugs as well, which is really annoying. It's my Achillea, so that's annoying, but it is starting to come now. And then I've got foxgloves at the back, which will be foxgloves for next year at the back of behind the Ame. This is all phlox. This whole bed is phlox until you get to these guys here, and this one and this non-existent one here got eaten by slugs while I was away, but that one's come back, that one didn't. But these are the Rudbeckia, and they're actually some of the Rudbeckia that I lost, so that was good. This was a whole bed of sunflowers, some of them got eaten. So what I've done is I've planted my veg in here. So I've got some courgettes, some runner beans. I'm not actually sure what that... Oh, that's a Atriplex rubra, possibly? No, I don't know what those black... They're some sort of big tall thing. And then courgettes, 2 courgette plants, and I've got some kale. And then it's sunflowers from there back, which I do need to put a net over so they don't blow down. GMs, I just need to actually cut the GMs back and I might get another flush. Sedum. And then for some reason, a load of weed, which I don't know, because these beds have been really good with this wood chip on, apart from this one here, and I don't know why. But that is just one plant, actually, so I'm going to pull it out. But that's Astrantia. I'm just going to pick a few of those, actually. And then on here, I've got this rat-tail status, which is just starting to poke its little head up. That's quite a cute little... I'm not going to be able to focus on it. But yeah, they're really good. So they're just starting. And I did resow I've put a row of something else because the plants I'd grown on that row there had got eaten, but these hadn't, which is really weird. So everything over there got eaten. So I've direct sowed some plants on that side. Corn cockle. So the corn cockle didn't get eaten, which was great. So I've got a load of corn cockle and again another dahlia growing. Brilliant. And this is my cosmos, which to be honest isn't looking great. It did get a bit mullered by the slugs because I really wanted the cosmos because it's one of my little twinkly bits that I like to put into my bouquets. It's something you don't get in a standard florist, blah blah blah, all that. But some of them are looking good, some just a bit trashy. But I'm hoping I'm going to come down and feed, possibly tomorrow, Tuesday, everything. And maybe that'll give it a bit of a boost. But I've noticed some of them going to flower. So I need to pinch those off, not let them go to flower just yet. But that's kind of it for things here. It's later on in the evening now and I have made most of the funeral stuff. I've got to put it all together first thing tomorrow morning because the way that I make it means that it's out of water for the duration. So I've made all the bunches up and I've left it in buckets of water, which I will then put into the display first thing tomorrow morning. So it's going to be an early one. We're looking at a 5 o'clock start tomorrow morning, so I've got to be at the funeral home by 9:30 and I have to do the school run and walk the dog. Yay. But I thought I'd show you the reef that I've done. It's really lovely. It's a willow reef with moss and then I've put I've put lots of different foliages in and then the roses. So this is the reef that I have done, which I think is absolutely beautiful. So these are roses. I just hope that they're not too open before tomorrow. I've put a lot of them in buds on it. But yeah, I think that looks really, really pretty. And then over here on a living reef, do you like my rose coming out? Well, that's my photo frame. Not looking so good now. My rose, I absolutely love this rose. I was going to use some of it today actually, but I haven't. But I've got a bouquet that needs to go out tomorrow, which I'll be putting that in. But yeah, this is my living reef here, and these are kind of like my speciality. I absolutely love making them. I really love making them, and people really like them because they're just so unique and different. I really love this. Can't remember what it's called, but it's actually a perennial. So it roots, and these little nodules here, will turn into roots. So that's pretty cool. So it means that they can keep that, and then the rest of this can go into a basket or a pot outside the back door, and they'll be able to keep it by the back door to remind them of their loved one, which I think is a lovely idea. I love making those, I think they're awesome. So that is it for this video. I will put some pictures on of how the display, the funeral chopper looked tomorrow. But I'm not going to have time to make a video tomorrow morning. It's going to be up against it. So I'll take some photos and I'll put them at the end of this video so you can see what I made with all those beautiful flowers we picked earlier. yeah, so that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, or if you find my videos entertaining, then please buy me a coffee. Link to coffee buying and all the blurb is in the description below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.